morning, everyone. It's about 10:15 on Thursday morning, and I'm back to tell you about my brush with the law that I told you I would tell you the story about. Okay, so this past week I had a relapse with my pneumonia, so I haven't been feeling that great, and I've been coughing and up all night and blah blah blah. And so they gave me a course of antibiotics, which was amoxicillin, 3,000 milligrams a day. Knocked it out a little bit, and then a couple days later I started feeling like crap again. So I'm back to the doctor. We broke out the big guns. Now I'm on Z-Pak and I'm on prednisone, which makes me a little crazy. But anyways, that's just a little side note. So that day that I had the brush with the law, started off kind of badly. I had to go to the pharmacy to pick up some cough syrup with codeine. On my way there, it's like up my street and down to the set of lights, and that's where my drugstore is. And so anyway, just in that little way, my car's making this funny noise in the rear end. And it's like, and I'm like, what the heck is that? My car's fairly new, it's only like a year and a half old. So, excuse me. I'm like, okay. So I get up to the pharmacy, shut the car off, get out and look, and I get a flat tire in my passenger side. And I'm like, oh God, how can this be? So I go in and get my cough syrup, and then I come back out again, and I'm like, what am I going to do now? I can't go anywhere. So there's a gas station right across the street from the pharmacy. So I go over to the gas station, and I've never put air in my tires before, I'm embarrassed to say. My husband always took care of that stuff. Now I'm a big girl, I need to start doing all this stuff by myself. But anyway, so I'm standing there near the air pump, and like, what do I do? And it cost $1 to put $1.25 to put air in your tires, which is ridiculous. Air is free. So I am sitting there with this dumb look on my face, hoping that somebody will come over. And I caught this guy's eye that was like filling up his truck with gas. He says, playing the damsel in distress, like a little delicate thing. I says, excuse me, I says, could you do me a favor? I says, I don't know how to put air in my tires or how many, pounds of pressure or anything to put in. When you get finished, would you mind taking a minute and just coming over and like showing me how to do it? I knew he was going to do it, but I said, show me. So he says, oh, sure. So he comes over afterwards and takes the little thing, the valve stem cover off, and hooks it up and fills the tire back up and puts it back on. I says, thank you so much. I says, I don't know what I'm going to do. I says, it was getting late in the day, and it's like everything closes up here on a weekday at like 5, 6 o'clock. Everything, like the streets shut down except for like Walmart and stuff like that. Like all of these little tire places, and so I'm thinking, I'm like 10 minutes from Walmart, but if I really put my pedal to the metal, he says, you better get someplace because you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and it's going to be flat in your driveway. And I'm like, so I decide to go to Walmart Supercenter because they're open late, and they have the automotive section with the tires and all that out back. So I take the back roads to get into Walmart, to get over to the next town and get to Walmart. So I'm bombing along, and I take this back road, country road with cornfields and farms and everything, and it's kind of a windy road, and I'm going like a bat out of hell. 40-mile-an-hour zone, and I'm going 75 because I was going to get to Walmart and get that tire fixed before it went flat. So I'm bolting along. So, and like, I felt like Thelma and Louise driving along, like I'm going to go off into the cornfield somewhere. But anyway, driving along, and all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, I'm out in the freaking country, right, on this road. Out of nowhere, I see flashing lights behind me in a white sheriff's car, SUV, behind me. And I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, can my day get any worse? First, I have pneumonia. Then I get a flat tire, and now I'm going to friggin' get arrested for, I'm going to lose my license and get slapped with a stiff fine and probably suspend my license, 35 miles an hour over the speed limit, and like, that's a no-no. And up here they're really strict on, I think the fine is like so much per mile over the speed limit that you're going. And it would have been pretty stiff, and I probably would have had to go to court and all that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm sitting in the car, he pulls up behind me, flash is still going, and I realize I don't have my seatbelt on. And up here, it's a $150 fine for each person in the car that doesn't have a seatbelt on. And I'm bad about wearing my seatbelt, but after this, I wear one every time I get in that car. So I'm thinking, and I don't have tinted glass in my car, so he's right behind me and he can see. If I pull it down and lock it in, he's going to see that I didn't have it on. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, the wheels are turning, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking, oh, for all he knows, I could have taken it off because I am going to get out of the car and walk over to the cruiser. Now, I've watched enough cops on TV, that show Cops, that I know that you don't get out of the vehicle. You sit there and they come to you. But I'm thinking, what do I got to lose? So I open my door, get out of the car, and I walk behind the car, walk up to the vehicle and like smiling, try to look friendly, approachable. I pose no danger. And he's got his car door open, but still he picks up this speaker, the loudspeaker that, blasts outside the cruiser. Ma'am, please get back into the vehicle. And of course, I'm like half deaf. I don't hear good, and my sound is kind of weird the way I hear things because I have tinnitus in both ears. And I not only have like a loud pitch screaming all the time in my ears because of the tinnitus, but I also have like a roar, like the ocean going on. So it's like my hearing is very muffled. And it's probably why I have such a big mouth and talk loud a lot, because I figure everybody else is deaf too. So anyway, the way I heard him is, get your back, put your back against the vehicle. So I'm thinking, oh my God. So I go back to in front of, the cruiser, and I put my back to the vehicle, and I know they like to see your hands, where your hands are, because I've watched Cops, of course. So I put my hands in the air, and if they had a mug shot of me, it would have been probably like internet sensation. Me standing there with my hands up with this dumb look. 63-year-old woman, like. So anyway, he's in the car, and I make eye contact with him, and he's like this woman's clueless. And he gets back on his speaker again, he goes, ma'am, please get back into your vehicle. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So I get back into my car, and he gets out of his car, and he doesn't have those aviator shades on, like the state police wear. He doesn't look intimidating. He looked like this little Irish guy, kind of reddish hair, blue eyes, young guy, and probably married, has a couple of kids, about my kid's age or something. He looks like he could be in his 30s, mid-30s. So anyway, he comes over and he says, do you know why I pulled you over? And I says, yes, officer, I do. I said, I'm not going to lie. I know I was speeding. I says, I'm awful sorry. I says, I never drive this fast. I says, I had a flat tire. I just came from the gas station, and the guy that filled up my tire with gas, with oil, with air. I'm such an airhead. I says, the guy that filled up my tire with air, some nice Samaritan, I says, told me I better hurry up and get to the, Walmart before the automotive section closes, and go the back road in case I get a flat, because this thing is going to go down fast. I says, so I'm scared. And I says, and I had my pedal to the metal, as you see. He goes, yeah, you were doing 75 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. And I says, oh my God, was I going that fast? And he goes, yeah. So he says, can I see your license, registration, and insurance? And I'm like, I got it out of my glove box. Everything's right there, all organized. Thank God for my husband, because he was always so organized, and he had everything like right where it's supposed to be. So I grab my license, hand it to him. He goes back to the cruiser, and he ran my information on their little computer dashboard thing. He's sitting in there for a while, and he's kind of looking out his window at me. And all of a sudden, he gets out and brings my stuff back to me, and he goes, I'm just going to give you a warning today. And all of a sudden, I just looked at him and I said, really? He goes, yes. And all of a sudden, it's like, how things come in threes, bad things. First the pneumonia, then the flat tire, and then getting, my brush with the law. And all of a sudden, the brush with the law kind of shrunk down and went away, and it's like, oh, I'm off scot-free now. And it's such a sense of relief and gratefulness came over me that I started crying. It was like a release, like, thank God, you know, like, I had an angel, I had Wendell sitting on my shoulder watching over me. And he's probably shaking his head saying, oh my God, I'm gone a year and a half and left to her own devices. Look what she gets herself into. But anyways, I was just this emotional release, and the tears started pouring. And he's still standing at the door, the cop, and I went, thank you so much, officer. I says, you would believe the day I had. And I started bawling like a little baby. And I says, you wouldn't believe the day I had. I says, I found out I had pneumonia. And I said, he's looking at me like, oh Jesus, here it comes. I says, then I got the flat tire. And I says, I don't know what to do about this stuff. The flat tire, my husband always did that. I says, my husband passed away a year and a half ago, and I'm a widow, and it's so scary being a widow. And I says, and then now I get pulled over, and I says, I figured I was gonna, you know, get arrested or something. I says, thank you so much for not giving me a ticket. I says, you don't know how much you appreciate it. And he's like, he's looking at me like, oh my God, this poor thing, if I ever gave her a ticket, she probably would have had a nervous breakdown. I would have had to bring her to the, you know, suit her up in a straitjacket and put her in a padded room. And he's looking at me with these pitiful eyes like, he says, ma'am, please slow down. He says, take your time, get to Walmart. He says, get your tire fixed. And he says, and I'm awful sorry for your loss. I completely understand. He says, good luck to you. And I sat there for a minute. I'm like, oh my God, there are still nice people in the world. And all this crap you hear about cops and everything, you know, being bullies. And there are a lot of good cops out there, and they really love their job and they care about people. And this man was one of them cops. And I am so grateful for him for doing that. And I would recognize those Irish eyes and that, you know, curly hair if I saw him again. But what a nice guy. But anyways, that's my little story about my brush with the law. I know I told you what I'll tell you about it, but it's like, I look back and I think of what I must have looked like sitting there, you know, leaning against my car with my hands up. And he probably went home and had a good laugh at the end of the day, telling his buddies back at the police department, you know, oh my God, I got a live one tonight. But anyways, so I hope you're all having a great day. It's Thursday. I've been up all night because of my prednisone. It just makes you wired, so I'm cleaning the house, vacuuming, wiping everything down with bleach to get rid of all my pneumonia germs everywhere, dusting furniture, doing laundry, and I haven't slept a wink, and I probably show it too. But 2 more days of high dose of prednisone, then I'll drop down, so I'll probably start feeling a little better, but it does make you crazy. The Z-Pack, I can feel it working. It's loosening everything up, and my lungs feel like they're opening up, and I can breathe, and I'm not coughing. So it's working, thank God. So tonight, my neighbor in back, Rochelle, who's a retired nurse, she's 70, but she looks 50. Someday I'm going to get her to do a video with me. She's the cutest little thing. She's got to be like maybe 4 or 5. She's tiny, little, tiny, buff. She's going to be 70. She's got arms with not an ounce of fat or flab or cellulite, and she works out at the gym every day. She's got this tight little athletic body, and if you saw her, you wouldn't think she was a day over 50. You're gonna meet her. She doesn't even know I do videos yet, but I'm gonna get her at the house. She's so interesting. She's a retired nurse. She's single, well, she's divorced, and the two of us have so much in common. It's like, she says, I have been waiting for somebody like you to move in that house. And I says, and I've been waiting for a neighbor like you. Tonight she's coming over for supper. I bought some haddock. She eats everything organic, and she's on the keto diet, and she's going to teach me how to do, you know, eat healthy and get me back to feeling good again and healthy, because I've been eating like crap the last year. But anyway, she's coming over tonight, and we're making haddock. She's bringing a organic broccoli casserole, which she's an excellent cook. She's French, and I know she's a good cook, and I can't wait. And I bought some wine. Oh, I got some of that Yellowtail Shiraz, S-H-I-R-A-Z. It's a red wine. That stuff is delicious. She introduced me to that. So I picked some up at Walmart the other day. And so we'll have a glass of wine. We'll have a broccoli casserole. I'll probably maybe make a little salad. I was going to make this rice recipe that I got. It's jasmine rice, and you take coconut milk, and I don't know, I'll put the recipe up if I make it. And what else? Oh, and you take a little bit of cilantro afterwards, and you put the rice in and let it cook in the coconut milk with like a little butter. It absorbs the coconut milk, and it's coconut rice with cilantro. And then you form it into like little cups, and you put it on the, down on the plate with, the rest of your food. It looks so cute with a little sprinkle of cilantro over the top. And so I was going to make that, but she's grain-free and gluten-free and keto. So I might make some for myself because I do love rice. But I'm supposed to get away from all white things like bread, sugar, stuff like that, because I had a talk with my doctor about my eczema and psoriasis. And she said, cut out all white stuff from your diet. She says it will go away. And it's funny, after Wendell died, I did that spontaneously. I don't know why. I don't know what made me do it, but I cut out sugar and flour and anything white. My eczema and psoriasis went away, like on my arms, legs, and the psoriasis on my scalp went away. But then I get back into the junk food, like, I'm living alone, I'm not going to cook for myself, and I started eating like McDonald's and frozen dinners and carbs and bread and chips and crackers and stuff like that. So my friend Rochelle is going to help me get healthy again so that I'll feel better. And God, if I can look like her at 70. I mean, she looks better than me now, and she's going to be 70. Wait till you see her. But anyway, she's coming over tonight for dinner. We're going to have our haddock, and so it should be a fun night. But I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday. And if I don't talk to you before the weekend, have a great weekend, guys. I just put my air conditioner in. It's going to be 90 today and hot and humid here. So I got all my windows shut, my AC on in the bedroom, and it's really taking care of the whole house. So have a good one. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye. Mwah.